What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay, coming to you on this Sunday Funday with my brother, the man, the myth, the legend, Farina, the one and only. Guys, we have a lot to talk about. I do have to apologize as I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. Like I was telling Edo, I've been up all night. I had to sleep on the couch because my wife has COVID, so that really had me tired. I was up trying to watch TV, go to sleep. I was drinking coffee. I couldn't do it. So that was my night, and I almost canceled the show. And then we went live maybe, I don't know, maybe about 15 minutes ago, and the stream dropped. So everything that you could think of started going wrong. But you know what? That's okay. We're still here, and we're going to get through it, guys. I was going to go through the market cap right now. We're about $1.9 trillion, guys. Everything's pretty much the same. Bitcoin, $27,900, flirting with the 28,000 mark. We've got XRP at 51, almost 52 cents. Everything else is pretty much the same, going sideways. A little bit of capitulation, but if you guys want to check that out, make sure you go over to CoinMarketCap. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. That's right, Shane Sutherland. What's up, my brother? You said I thought I missed it. No, we were having technical difficulties, my friend. OMC, glad you're back. Hey, brother, you know I'm not going to miss it. Unless I had COVID, then maybe I would have missed it. JC, what's up, my brother? Welcome to the stream, guys. I got a special guest. I'm not going to have him wait. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. All I ask you guys to do is make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Go over to our X/Twitter. It's so hard for me to call it Twitter, guys. I don't know. X, Twitter, whatever. And make sure you hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Retweet. And go over to my man Edo Farina's page as well. This guy's doing incredible things. We're going to bring him on right now. Edo, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear this time.
Okay, my brother, how are you? You sound great yourself. How's everything going in your neck of the woods? What time is it there right now?
Well, my English now is 11:45
PM?
Yeah, it's quite late.
Oh my God, that's so crazy, guys. So here it is, 12:47 p.m. and then where Edo's at, it's 11:47 p.m. So shouts out to Edo. And what's so nuts is that Edo actually has a X space that's going to happen in less than 2 hours at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that puts Edo 2 more hours. So basically at 1:30 in the morning, Edo is committed to being on. I mean, this dude is just a warrior. He's one of the hottest guys. You might think he's hot. I'm married. I can't go there, but just kidding. But no, he's one of the hottest guys on all of X right now. One of the most talked about guys, ranked in the top 5 in all of crypto. And I think he's probably in the top 5 for those who talk about and support XRP. And if you guys checked out last week when he did the X Space along with myself and I believe it was Jack the Rippler, they had over 3,000 people live watching that. It was just absolutely incredible, guys. So look forward to that here in a couple hours with Edo Farina and the whole movement that we're doing, which is called The Standard. We're very excited about that. We got a lot of stuff in store for you guys. So with that being said, guys, oh, my beautiful queen, look at her. She's on. Jeanette, hello, sweetheart. I know she's in the bed feeling like crap. Poor thing has COVID. So I'm wishing you the very best, sweetheart. I just took her some soup, but I got to be careful because, I don't want to get sick. That's typically what happens. One of us gets sick, I get sick, she gets sick, and I think I've had COVID twice. This is her 4th or 5th time now having it. It's just unfortunate. That thing's still going around. But with that being said, Edo, I know we've got a lot to talk about. One of the things that I want to put together today, and I'll go right to the thumbnail, is, let's see here. Hopefully the stream doesn't drop again. Let's see, that's Edo Farina's page here, guys. Let me go over to my page, and you can see what we're going to be talking about is, I call it MVC, like MVP, most valuable player, but in this case, we call it most valuable crypto. And really what this means, guys, is really not saying this is necessarily the most valuable crypto for you. It's just more or less what, me and Edo might consider the top 5 for each of one of us. And so I want to talk about that, and we'll get into that in a second. There's also some things that I want to talk about, Edo, in regards to what's going on in X right now. It's really devastating. So do you want to start with the crypto, or do you want to start with what's going on with X right now?
We can start with what's going on X right now, and then we can jump quickly for our 5 favorite coins, which is going to be somehow more exciting to talk.
Okay.
Let's keep the best for the end.
Okay.
However, yeah, guys, you see, there is a lot of negativity going on X right now, and it's not only on X. I mean, with all this war stuff, I mean, it's devastating. And we had a quick chat before, and James was telling me how he's getting upset because of all of these videos going around. There's actually terrible things going on. I am totally aware of that, but I don't think we get any benefit from actually contemplating these images that are going around, and especially now, people are trying to monetize on X, and it's very sad to see that some people will share violent content and things that I don't believe they should be shared on the internet right now. And when these things comes to your page, it's almost instant. It gets your attention, and you might end up seeing things that you dislike. So what I am doing right now to protect my energy field, or whatever you want to call it, James, I go to my settings on X, and in the settings you can just hide the sensitive content. It's not that I want to ignore everything that's going in the world right now. It's just a matter that the fact that I will be there watching this content will not change anything in the world. So I prefer to focus on the things that are under my control. I prefer to focus on the positive things, so that that will not affect me. So the first thing I have done is to make a good clean in my feed. So I actually follow most likely a lot of positive people. And the second thing is, as I said, I hide the sensitive content, and that will not bring me any negative things. And now, guys, just to say, I have my opinions about the war. I don't want to go very specifically, but I do have a feeling that the governments are creating, which is called problem reaction solution. Basically, they are just creating another problem, as they have done in the past decades. And so you see a lot central banks now have another reason to keep printing money. So they just creating more debt, hyperinflation is taking place, liquidity crisis is incoming, and that's at least what's going to get interesting for XRP, which is kind of the coin that is designed for everything that's going on the world right now. I mean, XRP has no borders, and cross-border payments are just getting more and more important, in the sense of, if you see what happened with the war, when there was a war in Russia,
Right.
the first thing that happened, they cut off the Russian banks from SWIFT. And every time there is somehow a conflict, cross-border payments are under the target, and we can see the same thing happening. We don't know how this thing is going to escalate, and I think Ripple has always said that XRP is there to provide liquidity for the banks in moments like this, and is also capable of making transactions and not having any political bias. So everyone can use XRP, and that goes back to what we discussed in the call with Dr. Shiba as well, which, by the way, just to give some context, me and James, we had an interview with Dr. Shiba, which is running for the presidential candidate in the US. So that was very interesting. And he was also mentioned in the call that he's open to accept XRP as donation. So I think XRP now enters a great moment. Regardless of all this negativity going on in the world right now, I want to focus on the positive. I want to focus on the things that we have control, and there is huge changes coming for the financial system. I do believe that there is a lot of things that are going to happen in the next weeks, James. I don't know how you feel about it, but I just believe that in these last months of 2023, I think the things are going to escalate in rhythm of geometric progression. I mean, it's just going to happen so quickly.
No, I agree with you, and yeah, what a great perspective on everything. And I'll kind of recap on everything that you said. Yeah, we had a great talk with Dr. Shiva's. I guess it would be his campaign team, maybe some of the guys. There's probably like 5 or 6 people on there with you and I, and it was very interesting because we had some very smart people. People who specialize in certain aspects of things, whether it was banking, blockchain. They had a vast knowledge with a lot of stuff, but in the same aspect, they were very not so well-rounded in crypto. And I thought that was very eye-opening. I know when you and I got off the call after talking to them, and we made a lot of sense to them and how we broke it down. And even with Dr. Shiba, as they were explaining, they were like, look, he's not a big advocate for crypto. He's not a big advocate. It's not that he's against it, but he's not really a big advocate for this or that. And I think once we got them to understand that we're not talking about him being a poster child for crypto, but understand that if you're representing the people, right, and you're representing this great country, you have to understand that crypto right now is under attack by this country. And he's someone who speaks a lot about freedom and about doing the right thing. And that's literally what this is all about, especially when you're talking about XRP, which is an asset we try to tie them into, which is it's about freedom. It's about giving people the opportunity to choose to dream again. And it goes back to all the manipulation and corruption that he talks about in the government. Guess what? That's what we're dealing with as people in crypto. So that was a very interesting conversation. I think we got a lot of benefit out of that as we're moving forward with his campaign people. And I know we're supposed to be following with them as well in the future. So excited about that. Going into the war and what's going on right now, Edo, I tell you, when me and you talked earlier, I was a little bit nauseous. And the thing that I think I've learned in my years of being a speaker and traveling the world and dealing with people is that one of the things that they teach you when you go to these courses and how to be a leader and leadership courses and leadership training, which I spent many years doing, 25 years of my life, they talk about staying away from negativity. And my wife is on this right now. She can tell you that I would go and, if I got into bed, I try to stay away from like any shows like had to do with people being locked up or murders or, things like that or news, because it seems like it just really plagued, it's like cancer. It just kind of gets on you and just eats away at your who you are and your mood, right? And your overall mindset. It can be very depressing as well. And so for me, I noticed in the last 24 to 48 hours, everything on X has been about this war. And yesterday, it just really hit me hard because as a father and as a son and as a brother to young women, my sisters, and it's just hard, man, seeing some of the pictures, the graphic things that they're showing on X, which is Twitter, same thing. And like they had the young lady's body in the back of the truck, and everyone kept retweeting it like you said, like it was some kind of game or like it was something. I mean, it's one thing to see it and it's one thing to speak out on it, but to see it retweeted thousands of times, it made me sick, because even though I was trying to go on there like I normally go on the X and get information and just try to find out what's going on, because it's one of the best sources for news, unfortunately, because what's going on is very graphic, and it made me honestly did not even want to look at X. And it also made it very hard to come on today and talk about crypto or anything else, because that's kind of plagued into my soul in the fact that there's children out there being killed and women out there and innocent people. And it's just so sad. And whatever this politically, I was reading things about the guns that they have and the stuff that they have that they're killing people with came from certain other countries that the U.S. supplied with certain things. Now they're using that. I mean, it's just so sad, man. I hope, and I'm sure you're right. I hope this is not about political things. I hope this is not about, I saw some people saying this is about controlling this or the markets and all these different things. It's just so sad, man. Whatever the reason is, I'll let you speak more on that. But for me, it's definitely something that my prayers go out to all those involved, all those people who are being victimized, and it's just hard, man. And another thing too, as we talk about, it's kind of ironic, Edo, because when you talk about TA, technical analysis, market analysis, and fundamental analysis, and you look at the charts, and I go back to some of the charters like Crypto Savvy One, right? I talked about him before. He's been on the show a couple times. He's a master charter. This guy called when Bitcoin was going to go down back in 2021. He said it'd be September, October that we have a devastating fall. He said it. That's what he said. And everything's played out. Every key retracement that we had, he's called it out because he's a master charter. He sees where the charts are, and he's been comparing it to the dot-com bubble, which is now the crypto bubble, right? The corruption. The one thing that people can't see, Edo, is you can't see COVID. You can't see war. No one knows that that's going to happen. And the fact that all this stuff that's going on right now we've got, let's say in the world of crypto, you've got lawsuits, you've got ETHgate, you've got all these things going on with the SEC. And even though we've had some bright points with Ripple and some other things, there's obviously some bright points. This is really overall devastating. And and what it does is something like this can actually bring the market down, especially if we get involved, which if I go over to my X here, let me get you where you're on and they can see the internet as well. So I'm going to go down, we can see Edo. And if I go down here, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit, Edo. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it says breaking. The U.S. military moves an aircraft carrier near Israel to show Washington support. you know, and it's just crazy how we always seem to be involved in all this stuff, and we put ourselves in this position where, you know, this could break out to be. A lot of people are saying World War III and all these different things. I'm not really sure where it's going to go. I don't want to get the channel banned and all that stuff for talking about it, because I know, and you know as well as I do, on Twitter and on YouTube, if you say certain things, they can ban you. Just like, by the way, guys, shouts out and prayers for DAI. I hope DAI gets his channel back. I know that he's been taken off of X. My channel has been taken down a couple times on YouTube. I couldn't tell you why to this day, Edo. But just speak on that, Edo, as I'm showing this United States aircraft carrier entering the waters and what that could possibly mean for us and the markets overall. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, if I could define one word for all this war stuff going on right now, I would say distraction. No, because everyone is looking to one direction, and I try to be as much objective as I can and see the things, let's say, in the more neutral way possible, you know. Well, there is definitely a lot of bad stuff that happen on a daily basis in the entire world, if we take the world is such a big place.
That's true.
But we also have a lot of positive things, a lot of great things that happen on a daily basis. The fact that all of these negative things are being highlighted, let's be honest, the fact that it will get one retweet, 1,000 retweets, or 100,000, that will not, first, it will not reverse time, so it will not reverse what already happened. Yes, I mean, it was terrible, but what it will make for everyone that's actually just interacting with this content. I mean, I have a sentence that I say that we become what we contemplate.
Yeah.
And I will say this one more time so it can really kick in the minds, you know. We become that which we contemplate. So if we're going around to contemplate a lot of violence, a lot of these bad things, you know, this will actually mess with our vibration, and that's a fact. And what you said before, it's very interesting, James, that you even avoid. I am at the same point, you know. I avoid as much as I can to engage in any activity, even movies, you know. In the past, maybe I liked to watch movies with a lot of action, violence, and this type of things. Nowadays, I want to sit and I want to watch a documentary about nature or something that really makes me to relax and allows my mind to, when I'm not working, to just be relaxed, just to calm down, contemplate all the good things that are on this planet. You know, if you ever had the feeling that you go out in nature and you just sit on a rock and you just watch like the ocean and the things, all these problems, they just disappear. I mean, I get enough emotions on the work that I do, on the cryptocurrencies that go up and down, and the volatility and all the excitement that I have to do my videos and everything I go on a daily basis, that when I'm trying to just enjoy my time, I don't want anything that will mess up with my emotions. I just want to be relaxed, and that's why I like to watch, or something that I already watched in the past, like a series that I already know how it's going to play out, and it's just very smooth. Or I want to watch something that is positive. I want to watch some documentary about animals. That's the way I am dealing with this.
That's right.
Because honestly, it will not make anything for me to just contemplate violence without a purpose.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I choose to go on this way. And I think this is a great advice for everyone that now is utilizing X, is to just avoid these things. You know, that's the best way. And this all connects to what's going to happen in the next years, because if we see what is going to make all these conflicts, all these wars, it's going to speed up the process for adopting cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
We realize that the more there will be this situation with especially the banking collapse, which I have been calling for a long time. How many times we spoke about some black swan events? Well, the governments, they have many cards that they can play that could lead to a catastrophic event for the world's economy, but that could be actually a positive outcome for cryptocurrencies, because we all know that fiat currencies, in my opinion, they are in the verge of a collapse. If you look for the US dollar, 80% of the supply that is in circulation right now has been printed in the last 36 months, especially after the pandemic has came in. So I am also a believer that the pandemic didn't happen by mistake. It's all problem, reaction, and solution. But with all of that being said, I think we have a lot of positive things to focus on. I think we have here the greatest opportunity for generational wealth. I think my grandchildren will not have the same opportunity, and we spoke this so many times. So I think perhaps we can jump in and talk a little bit about which cryptocurrencies. We have 5 that we can share.
Absolutely. So no, I definitely appreciate you putting that out there. And again, guys, I'll say this finally before we get into that, and that is that for me getting on there, and I was like you said, a lot of people don't realize that it can be draining. It can be draining studying. It can be draining trying to get content. It can be draining because you and I are doing different things all the time, and so those things can be draining. Then you got your regular life, like it could be you having to go to the law office and deal with things at the attorney office you work at, or me dealing with some things that right now is going on with my wife with her having COVID, right? Or the fact that we're moving. There's all these different things that can come in that have different levels of highs, lows, stress, whatever. In this life, right? So you got life plus you're a content creator. And then when you get on there and like I said, I'm scrolling through and I see babies being wrapped up, or I see, the young lady who, by the way, I have to say this, the young lady who I'm talking about that they had in the back of the truck was out there going to like a peace rally concert. And they sabotaged her and did all those things to her, and it's just devastating. So prayers out to all that. I definitely won't talk about it anymore, but just be careful, guys, because those things can really weigh on your soul. And so prayers to all those involved, and I really hope that this thing is rectified and somehow, yeah. So with that being said, Edo, definitely the show's about the top 5. I also want to go over a couple other things before we actually get into that. There was a this is funny. I don't know if you can see Twitter or not. I thought this was kind of hilarious. They've got Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, who is an actor, comedian, the guy who did Step Brothers. I don't know if you've seen the movie Step Brothers. So he's over at USC DJing at the USC some kind of game party or whatever. It's just hilarious. I thought that was kind of funny. The reason I'm trying to bring light because this whole show was about trying to get people's mind off of what's going on and not so much get stuck in that. So I kind of want to move in a more positive area, as you're saying. So I'm just going to go over a couple things and maybe we can touch bases here on that. So before we get into the top 5, let's go over a couple things. Right here, there's a post where it says VC claims the SEC will drop all charges against Ripple. If you open this up, Edo, what it shows right here is, let's see, it says, so it's basically it's talking about the narrative that the SEC, and I want you to address this, that the SEC, because they weren't prepared on how they went after Ripple and how things are going with them being 0-2, obviously they're not winning. It's and especially this last decision by Judge Annalisa Torres, what that could mean positively, not only for Ripple moving forward, because a lot of people are saying what happened, and I don't know if you remember this in the very beginning when XRP was deemed not a security on July 13th, 2023, they said if the SEC appeals and loses, then what it does, it damages everything, because what it does, it allows Judge Annalisa Torres to go back and then further define why her judgment was what it was back on July 13th. Well, that's exactly what she did. And because of that, you look at Jeremy Hogan. Matter of fact, I think I got him here. Jeremy Hogan says, he looks at the Ripple case of the SEC. It's like Ripple's up 10 points with 30 seconds left in the game, and they're kicking off to the SEC. Basically means they have no chance of winning. Right? This is one of the things that I have right here on my X page. You have John Deaton that says, he says, look, they could be in settlement talks right now. One of the things that John Deaton said as well, I don't think they want to go to trial because they're not going to want to have all the corruption exposed. If they go to trial, all that stuff could get exposed. And it's all going to be public information with the fact that witnesses can be called out and everything else like that. I don't know if you saw it. So really quickly, your thought process on what Jeremy Hogan's saying, that game is over, what John Deaton's saying, hey, this is pretty much over. If they move forward, they have to be idiots because the devastating impact it could have. There's even other attorneys that are weighed in, Edo, and said the SEC needs to drop this case if they know it's good for them. Basically that they played a hand, they tried to regulate by enforcement, and they tried to bully Ripple, and they lost horrifically. And if they continue on, it's going to be devastating. And what's in their best interest, this actually came from a former SEC guy for 16 years. He said it's probably in their best interest to settle. Your thoughts on that, Edo, before we move into coins?
I think the SEC clearly underestimated what Ripple was capable,
Yep.
and all the researches that they have put on this lawsuit. And I mean, the damage was made already for the XRP holders, but I think it's finally we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You know how many people were holding XRP throughout these last years. Just that the bull run was quite missed. XRP was outperformed by Ethereum, for example, or Bitcoin. Anyways, now I am much more optimistic about the lawsuit. So I do believe we're going to see an end. And as Jeremy and also John did on, I mean, who can go against these guys? So if they are optimistic, I'm optimistic as well. I have been following their work. And I just believe it's a matter of time. And well, as a matter of law, XRP is already not a security, and I think that's they cannot reverse this decision anymore. So the only thing that is clear for me right now is that when there is a liquidity crisis and the banks are going to be desperate for liquidity, the only coin that can save them is XRP, because it's the only coin that has regulatory clarity. So which coin they're going to go after, which coin they're going to press the buy button, and they're going to load their bags so that they can have some liquidity. Well, that coin is XRP. So that makes me very much excited. From my understanding, I think from day one, this lawsuit somehow has had a lot of political theaters going on. And from day one, in my opinion, I mean, James, when they dropped the lawsuit, I bought my largest XRP bags. That's the ironical thing, you know.
That's right.
When everybody was panicking, when everybody was, oh my God, I dropped my orders at 17 cents and I got a huge bag of XRP right there. And, you know, many people were saying, oh, now is the time XRP is going to go to zero. Because my understanding, because I fully understand who is behind XRP, and in my understanding, it's impossible that such a coin is going to fail. That's why when it was at its lowest, I bought my biggest box. It was in the same period that we had sold the property that we bought in Lisbon, in Portugal. So I took part of the money and bought an XRP right there. And just a couple of days later, the price was already recovering quite substantially. So you can see that nothing was capable of kicking off XRP from the top 10. XRP has been in the top 10 since its last bull run in 2017. So it's quite a long time. It's a long journey.
That's right.
Nothing has been capable of kicking XRP out of the top 10. I mean, not COVID, not the war in Ukraine, not the SEC lawsuit, not anything. So this for me just shows that XRP is here to stay. And I'm definitely optimistic about the lawsuit. Another interesting thing is that they didn't choose other coins. How many coins are out in the market now? The highlights are all for XRP, so I don't think that's a coincidence. For me, they have chosen XRP because they know the financial institutions are going to need XRP. And in order for the financial institutions to use XRP, guess what? It has to be fully regulated by the SEC. So you have all the answers right there. They chose an XRP not by coincidence. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was reading an article in which the guy was saying that, and it kind of made me realize what he was saying. And his assumption is this is not about. I think at some point during this lawsuit they realized they weren't going to kill off XRP and it wasn't going anywhere. But they also, he was saying, maybe the strategy or the agenda was to keep XRP tied up legally for as long as they could, which is what they're doing now. And how long would they continue to play it out? Meaning that up to this point, it's devastated their business growing, right? It's devastated their growth. Even though they've grown in other countries, it could be so much more. We could be looking at a $5 XRP right now, right? Or higher, right? So I think the issue is that they know what they're doing. They're purposely suppressing the asset, the digital asset. And even though that's a bad thing and the lawsuit's a bad thing, I always say this on the show, it's actually a blessing for us. Like, just like you said, getting that 17 cents is huge for the investor because it still gives people the opportunity to jump in now. And again, this is not financial advice. Whereas if it was $3 or $4 or $5 now, it wouldn't be the same opportunity. Meaning it would be the same opportunity because we believe and understand it was created to be a $10,000 coin, right? And where it goes to do that or how it reaches that point, whether it's 2030 or thereafter. But the fact of the matter is we're still able to talk about a 50 cents, 52 cents XRP. Now, in saying that, I believe that Jeremy Hogan and John Deaton's right. And I believe you're right in what you just said just moments ago, and that is in the worst time or the worst adversity that we face in this country, whether it was COVID, that was my biggest financial moment in my life, Edo. It was the biggest financial moment in me and my wife's life is when COVID happened. It's the most money I've ever made in my life in crypto. And it was that explosion up to 2021 where my wife was like, this feels like we're living a dream. My wife is actually in the comments right now. She would wake up someday and go, I feel like we're in a dream because of what crypto did for us. So I say that to say this, is I believe that this is going to be a adverse, it's going to be a extreme benefit to XRP because like you said, when stuff like war happens and all this chaos happens, it's going to be more bank runs, more unemployment, more this and that, more houses, foreclosing, more cars being, all this stuff's going to go on, but more chaos. And through the chaos, we're going to need a great reset. And the coin that is best positioned for that great reset right now, Edo, is XRP. And I hate to say it like I'm biased or I'm some kind of, maxi, but it's really the only asset with digital clarity that even though they're trying, even though they're focused on, they've tried to focus on destroying it and appealing it, it's almost like it's bulletproof because of how they did it. And I was reading this article with, I want to say it was Jeremy Hogan. He, if you look right here on my X, Jeremy Hogan has a post where he has, it looks like fabulous right here, and it says, keep reading. And he breaks down a thread of all the different ways this could play out, right? All the different ways it could play out. And one of the things that he's talking about in here is talking about why XRP is the most likely to succeed and how they filed their lawsuit, how they went after XRP, Edo, is why they killed themselves, because they could have done it in a different way, but because they tried to aggressively do it in a fraudulent, biased manner, they destroyed themselves because they were trying to make up things of what met it's the Howey test and all these different things, and none of those things are a factor. And because they presented that to the judge and she made her decision based off what they presented, they've lost and it's over and done with. So the likelihood of a settlement is greater than it's ever been before, and I think that's going to be the thing that catapults the price to new highs. Now, in saying that, right before we get into the top five, I have to ask you this. And I know me and you've talked about this. The likelihood that we have a retracement before we go up, or that we go up before we have a retracement. Me and you did an X-Space here not too long ago where we had someone who was very brilliant. I can't think of the guy's name. Maybe you remember who he was. Yeah, and he it might have been him, and he was talking about, he said something to the extent that we may go up and then finally have a huge retracement down before continued up to the upside. And I actually had that conversation on this deal on the boardroom. There's another guy who was talking about maybe 2026 is when we have that explosive upside. No one can really predict it. There's a lot of assumptions, right? But the point I'm making is, do you think that what's going on right now, if this gets worse around the world, if some things play out with Binance, if some things play out with obviously I believe Coinbase is going to hit a home run. I believe Library, who's now appealing the SEC's decision, I think that's going to be huge because of what Ripple. I think Ripple's going to affect a lot of other court cases. I really think that's going to happen. But like John Deaton says, everyone has to fight their own fight. So do you think we could possibly, in the short term, right before we get into our top five, because I don't want to make this too long, but do you think it's possible that we could have a retracement before we go up? Or do you feel like because we've got a few months or so, maybe 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 months before Bitcoin ETFs are approved, it could happen January this year, and it could happen February, we don't know. Do you think that in combination with the settlement with Ripple sends this into a massive bull run?
In this moment, it's very difficult to time the market, but I would say it's 50-50. I do have a feeling we can have a retracement.
Yeah.
The macro scenario, James, is not good at all. If you see real estate, hyperinflation, now all this war narrative, there's so many things that can be devastating for the economy that I do believe we can see some huge retracement. I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP trading at 30 cents another time. I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be concerned.
Well, I didn't want to say that, and I'm glad you said that, because I was watching a very big TA guy yesterday. He's very, very bullish on XRP. Talking about just as bullish as you and I are. And he got on the TA and he showed where he thinks that we could have a retracement because everything that's going on of Bitcoin. And he says, look, he goes, I don't care what you guys say, you have to respect Bitcoin. I was telling you about a video that I watched with Brad Garlinghouse this morning. It was like wee hours in the morning, and he was, sometimes you can go there and you see people interviewing him. It was a little bit older interview. And Brad Garlinghouse he goes, look, guys, I'm not I'm not biased against Bitcoin. He goes, matter of fact, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. He said, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin to the point that I've got Bitcoin, right? He goes, I got a Bitcoin some time ago. He goes, and it's got nothing to do with what he, who he is and what he represents with XRP. But he's like, you got to look at Bitcoin because you got to understand if Bitcoin goes down, the market goes down. Because right now XRP is still tied to that. And the guy who's doing the TA and had the video that I was watching this morning, he said, if Bitcoin goes down, he goes, look, we could be looking at a $15,000 Bitcoin, a sub $20,000 Bitcoin again. He goes, and if we go down to a sub 15,000 and we don't hold that 12,000, he goes, you better believe we might see a 20 cent XRP again. He said, be prepared. He says, it's not like it's unlikely. He said, so what you've talked about and I've talked about is keeping money on the side in case that happens, because you don't want to time the market. And we're not saying this so someone goes, oh my God, let me cash out of my XRP, because I've been devastated that way before. I've learned the hard way that if you try to take your money out and wait for the bottom, it could go up and that you may never see that bottom again. So that's why the position that I have now, I'm not going to touch it. That's part of because here's the thing. To me, Edo, and I want you to touch on this real quick. There's no difference between 20 cents and 50 cents if I believe that one day it can hit $100. That's ridiculous. That's what I call short-term thinking. If I'm going to sit up here and mess up my wife and my children's future over 30 cents, I shouldn't be in this. That means that I might as well go to the casino or go buy a lottery ticket, because that's the kind of mentality I have. So 20 to 30 cents is not going to make me try to time the market. Instead, I've got capital on the side that if we, like you just said just seconds ago, if it goes down, hallelujah, I buy more. Hey, I'm ready. Let's do it. So just touch on that really quickly and we'll go into our top 5.
Oh man, it's so important that you say these things, because I can live with the fact that I hold XRP at 50 cents. It might drop to 30 cents, 25 cents. I don't really care, because I'm not cashing out at 60 cents or 70 cents. I'm here for the long run.
That's right.
Now, what would be more difficult to tolerate, however, is the fact that you sell XRP and some event take place and it skyrockets and you miss the opportunity. That's the worst thing that can happen. And if there is one coin that you can press the sell button and something unexpected can happen tomorrow, it's not Pepecoin, it's not Ethereum, it's not any other coin, but XRP. I mean, if you sell a Bitcoin, let's be honest, Bitcoin, yes, it can go to 100K.
Yeah.
I'm also bullish on Bitcoin, as you said before.
That's right.
But let's be honest, there's not really much a possibility that you go to sleep today and you wake up tomorrow and financial institutions are coming on mic and saying, look, we are buying Bitcoin for cross-border payments.
That's right.
That will never happen. In the meanwhile, XRP, it's designed for that. As Ripple even said, it's designed to be the world's reserve currency. If they pull the trigger, there might be some black swan event. We don't know what's going to play out. You might wake up one day, we cannot time the markets, but we might wake up one day and there is a substantial move to XRP price upwards.
That's right.
Then you sold it. It's much better to be psychologically ready to say XRP at 30 cents and you are sitting on investments and say, okay, that's my plan, that's what I'm following, than to try to sell it, to buy at the bottom, but you don't really know which the bottom is going to be,
right.
And then you are left behind. So my strategy, it's clear. I have my XRP on my cold wallet.
Right.
I don't have XRP substantial amounts on the exchanges. The XRP I have in exchanges for my daily uses. I do payments in XRP.
Right.
I transact with this XRP. I might do small trades, but my big bucks of XRP are in my cold wallets.
Right.
I don't even look, because if I keep looking at the numbers and the values, that's excitement. I don't even look.
Yeah.
If you ask me how much is your XRP investment worth right now, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part. I have a briefing idea of the amount of XRP, but I don't do mentally calculation of, okay, I have this amount and that's the amount I have in dollars right now. I don't even think like that.
Yeah.
And it's exactly for the purpose that my XRP is here. I will have this XRP for 5 years. I have my strategy already loud and clear.
That's right. No, that's smart. And I'm gonna go into this as well. And let me just touch on that real quick. I told my wife many times, I can live with the fact of it retracing and buying more. I can't live with the fact that I make a move and then I get out and it skyrockets up and I miss the whole thing. So all this planning and all this stuff and these plans I have for my family, I missed that because I didn't have a plan and I'm not sticking to my plan. It's kind of like when it went to 90-something cents and I looked up and I saw, 1 point something odd $1 million. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. And my wife, and that's great just for one coin to be at that level. But I'm like, that's not even part of my exit strategy, not even close. So I love what you said of that. Before I get into the coin, because that's just going to take a couple seconds, right here with Jeremy Hogan, I'm going to try to speed read through a couple of these things. If you guys check out this post on my X page, he goes down and he says, I'm seeing some confusion as to what could happen next in the Ripple versus SEC case now that the judge has denied the interlocutory appeal. So I have outlined every possibility and provided the exact chance of each possibility happening and how long each would take exactly. If you go down, he says, overview, the judge issued a summary judgment and denied early appeal. The SEC has 100% right to appeal when the whole case is finished, and that will happen when there is a final judgment. As you can see, the SEC has no real good options. Number one possibility, the SEC moves forward with the trial next April. So I would just look, guys, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I would say read this because this is it's a very interesting perspective from Jeremy Hogan, who's a lawyer. And when I was reading this, I said, oh my God, he gave every scenario possible. It was amazing, and it helped me understand how everyone's thinking. So please go check that out if you get a chance. Now, before we get into our top five, let me say hello to everybody who's here. Jenny Panu, I believe it's Panau. Welcome, congratulations, thanks so much. Shane Sullivan's in the house, Marvin Davis, Big Bro 10. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's see who else. Brad, thank you so much for being here. Crypto OG, JC, Tony Bags. We've got OMC, Jeanette. Appreciate you, my love. Thank you for being here. So, guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the top five, Edo. What I want to do is I want you to give your top five. We don't have to talk about every project because I think that it will probably get long-winded. We got about 15 minutes before we're at an hour. But I want to give my logical top five and my affordable top five. And when I say affordable top five, I think that's going to be for the majority of the people, or let's say this, because I don't want to be financial, like it's financial advice. If I was to get in right now, this would be my top five, which is affordable top five, or the more logical top five, I think, which is the more obvious, right? The things that if Bitcoin was at 27,000, would you have some? Of course you would. Like back when it was 1,300 Bitcoin for $1, or if it was 2 Bitcoin for $1. So I think a lot of times people are write Bitcoin off the list because of the price, not because of the value, like gold or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and start with your top five, if you don't mind, and then I'll go ahead and chime in on my top five. So you can either go the best top five right now, or your logical top five if you want to do that first. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. You don't have to talk about each coin as far as breaking it down, but just what's your top five?
Okay, so my top five, quite easy to know the top one.
Yeah.
So, well, second one, I do have to go with XLM. No,
okay.
Just to give a briefing for maybe someone doesn't know about XLM.
Okay.
The XRP ledger was created by Jed McCaleb, David Schwartz, and Arthur Brito. A couple of years later, Jed he left from Stellar,
right.
He left from Ripple, and he created XLM. Right. So it has very strong tokenomics. XRP is designed for the financial institutions, and XLM is more designed for small payments, but it still is going to be huge. It's going to be utilized by many people. Also, there's huge hedge funds that are tokenizing everything on Stellar. So XLM is my second one. It's also very affordable right now. I mean, it's trading somewhere around 11 cents, I believe.
Yep, 11 cents, yeah.
Yeah, so Stellar, my top two. My top three goes for XRP Healthcare, XRPH.
Okay, let me do this. Everybody can see XRP right here. So the first one that he said was XRP. I just pulled it up. You can see it's 51 cents. I just pulled it up on CoinMarketCap. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do this as you're saying it. So your second one was XLM. Let me pull that up real quick so I can show everybody that's watching this live, just in case someone's not familiar with that, because there are people going to watch this later. XLM, which is Stellar, which he just explained in detail. It's 11 cents. Here it is on CoinMarketCap. And then let's go to the next one. The next one would be
XRP Healthcare, which I am the head of social adoption.
XRPH.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and talk about that one. I got it pulled up. It's about one.
Yeah, I will just a quick briefing about XRP Healthcare. There's only 100 million tokens issued, so has a very low supply.
Okay.
XRP Healthcare is built on the XRP ledger. XRP Healthcare is going to allow. Let me put in other words. There will be a decentralized marketplace filled by the token XRP Healthcare, so people can go out and actually purchase medications utilizing
Wow.
XRP healthcare, the token. So it's a very interesting cryptocurrency. It's also partnerships with many pharmacies already in the United States. So basically, people have a prescription card. They can go to Walmart. They can go to many places already.
Oh, wow.
They can use the same prescription cards and get rewards in XRPH.
Yeah,
so
I have it.
I like so much XRPH.
I have it pulled up here. CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Safeway, Rite Aid. I mean, Kroger, Wise. I've got it pulled up on the website. That's amazing.
James,
Wow.
I am in the project, and the reason why I'm talking about it's not because I'm there, but it's because I am a huge believer in XRP.
Wow.
So huge partnerships. I mean, I know they are right now the founder, which is Ken. I am a very good friend of him as well. They are now in Africa, raising $100 million to revolutionize the African healthcare.
Wow.
So they are actually purchasing private clinics, which are going to be the XRPH clinics. So that's going to be huge. And as the supply is very limited supply, just to give some briefing, I went to the Paris Blockchain Week, and I had people from Ripple asking me about XRPH. I got messages from people inside Ripple asking me about XRPH.
Wow.
So it's definitely a project that everybody should check it out. It's not a financial advice, but have a look at the website, look the people behind the project, and you're going to have great insights about the project. You'll see the partnerships. There's many things going on for XRP Healthcare.
I know. I don't want to jump into it, and I know you've talked enough about it, but I know back in, it looks like in when this thing launched, because of the retracement, it launched right around the beginning of 2023, right, or the end of 2022.
Yeah, I can even talk about the price. It has been trading above 20 cents for a long period.
Wow.
And there has been, because I have been so close to the project, some people, they bought on the, how it's called, the IPO. No, sorry, not the IPO, oh my God, I forgot the word now. The private sale.
Yeah, the private sale, yes. ICO.
There has been a whale that bought in the private sale, and his wallet got hacked. So there has been a massive problem in that day that they sold, because they hacked his wallet, they sold the tokens in the market and the price just plummeted. So since that day, the price now is so cheap, I think it's trading something around 1.3 cents. So
Yeah,
just to give an example, imagine that the supply is only 100 million tokens. So basically, if you buy $10,000, you're going to buy a huge portion of the supply. And that's, for me, just says the potential of the project with everything going on. That's why, for me, it makes the top 3 right now.
Yeah, that's
so
yeah. Right now is the reason I brought that up is, and I want to get to your next one, is the fact that so since it's been out, it's the best buying opportunity right now for what I see. I don't know a lot about it, but I know you, I trust you, and right now it's down 95.75% from the all-time high. So I would say it is a heck of a buy right now. Your next coin?
Yeah. So my next coin.
So so that's number. We'll see 1, 2, 3.
XRP, XLM, XRPH. So 2 more coins. I would go for VTHO, VET.
Yep. Okay.
Also very cheap right now.
Yeah.
It's basically CO2 free. I mean, there's a lot of positive things about VTHO.
Wow.
Very low energy consumption, green energy, huge partnership. So I go for VTHO. And my number 5.
And by the way, that's also 1 cent at all. And when you look at its all-time high, it's quite amazing. 1 cent is ridiculous right now. Go ahead.
VTHO is also a great one. And number 5, I would go for Armor. That's built on Ethereum.
What is it?
Armor.
What's the ticker?
Oh, it's a good question now. I don't remember. Let me check here.
Did you say Armor?
Yes, Armor Protocol. It's built on Ethereum. It's on ERC20 token.
It's not Armor Wallet, is it?
Yeah, it's this one. Look, I will show to you. Maybe you can see here. It's insurance. It provides insurance for crypto. Okay. This one. Now you can see.
Oh, I can see it, but okay. So what is the? Okay, I see it right here. AM. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, it's trading now. It's very cheap.
Is it AMOR? Wait, what's the?
ARMOR. Armor.
Okay.
Maybe I can type here on the chat app.
No, I've got it. Okay, so Armor. Tell me. Funny thing is, I've never heard of that one. So what about this one?
Oh yeah, so the next big thing in crypto, in my opinion, there are two, is going to be real estate tokenization and crypto insurance. And Armor is there to provide somehow stability and insurance to protect people from events like, for example, the FTX and
Oh my
SBF
gosh.
collapse. So yes, I'm a huge believer that Armor.
Not to cut you off, but this thing highest price looks like it was $1. It got up to like $1.55, and
Yeah,
it's at 0.001, which is ridiculous. Oh my god! So
yeah,
it came out right in 2021, and when the market crashed, it went down with the market. So it came out probably at the wrong time, I guess. They launched
yeah.
it. Oh wow! Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a
Wow,
huge drop, and I have some good information about this project. So
wow.
it definitely makes on my top five, and also to diversify a bit because it's built on ERC20. So yeah,
And it looks like that it came out. It shot up from right around 59 cents to $1.55. Then it retraced back down over the months as crypto was kind of it was kind of like in the midst of 2021. I would say looks like January, February, March of 2021. Then it shot back up in April, where it got back up to that just below that 155 to 152, and then obviously it started tanking down from that point, and it stayed down ever since then. So I can definitely see that, and I don't know a lot about it, but it's definitely something to look at because of where the price point's at. So okay, that's Edo's top five. So number one we have
yep,
XRP, number two we have XLM, number three we have XRPH, number four we have it was VeChain, and number five we have Armor.
yep.
Okay, so would that be your top five predicated off affordability, or just no matter what? That's your top five no matter what.
That's my top five, no matter what.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give two top fives. My first top five is because I don't want to be, I don't want to seem like so many people think that those of us here at XRP or who are part of XRP, and especially for those of us who have really big bags, XRP is my biggest bag now. I've always had XRP, but it's my biggest bag now. However, I do have Bitcoin and other currencies as well. So I'm gonna say if I was to go based off of price not being a factor, because I think price really determines everything. So I'm gonna go one, price not being a factor, and then two, affordability. And right now, what I would do right now. So price not being a factor, my number one coin would be XRP. I think it has the greatest upside potential and way more use case and way more utility, and it solves a bigger problem in my opinion than Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin being digital gold, Bitcoin has more adoption globally. All the institutions which were waiting for those institutions to embrace XRP in a different way, right? The financial institutions, the flip of a switch moment, that puts XRP to me because it's so undervalued, and the fact that the worst thing that's ever happened to XRP is the greatest blessing. It's the greatest opportunity for everybody because of what the SEC did. So for that reason, XRP is my number one. Number two, and I'm talking about if it wasn't the price involved, I'm gonna put Bitcoin. And the reason I put Bitcoin because if price wasn't a factor, back when was it 14 years ago, Bitcoin was 1,300 Bitcoin for $1. Now, if I had the opportunity to get 1,300 Bitcoin for $1, it would be my number two coin I'm buying right now. I'm being straight up honest with you, and that's how I look at that. My number three coin would be XLM because of all the reasons that you mentioned. I'm not going to get into it, but because of Jed McCaleb and what he did and how it all came out, or how he started. Boom, he was part of that whole team and ecosystem. That's my number three. Number four, again, this is more logical for me, based off of the things that I see, not from affordability. I'm going to go with Polkadot. I got into Polkadot very early. It made me a bunch of money. I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want someone knocking on my door. How much money? It made me a lot of money, and that's what really changed me and my wife's life was Polkadot first. I got in when they did the redenomination at $3 to when it was at $300, and everybody in South America, Asia was buying it like crazy. Everybody in Asia had it. It was a popular Asia coin, but it was by Dr. Gavin Wood, who's also was part of the team, like Charles Hopkinson, who was part of the theorem of Vitalik Buterin in the early days. Well, Dr. Gavin Wood went on his own and made what he felt was a better version of Ethereum, which is called Polkadot. That would be my number four. And number five, I would have to put my number five. I'd have to put Ethereum, and I'm gonna explain myself only because of the adoption that it has. And again, if the price wasn't a factor, if I'm not looking at this for at the price point, or if I took away ETHgate and I took away all the crypto, because that's one of the reasons I'm not as big a fan of Ethereum, is because of how they went about it. I don't like people who have to cheat to get to where they're going. That's a big problem for me. But because the ecosystem is so huge and everyone uses it and you can't deny it, and it's the second most adopted crypto in the world right now, obviously just beneath Bitcoin at, I mean, literally, I shouldn't say just beneath, it's a few hundred. Oh, good Lord, a lot of money away from it. But just the point I'm making, that would be Ethereum. Now, that's in a world where if money wasn't an object. From affordability, if I had to start today, which basically goes back to my biggest bags, I'm gonna go my affordability top 5, and that would be XRP number 1, XLM number 2. I'm going to go with I would probably have to say. I'm a little stuck on this one. I might have to say XDC because I'm a big fan of that one as well. I think there's so many amazing coins out there that I think are undervalued, like DAG, Constellation. There's just so many great Pragmatic. I can go on and on about what I actually do hold. I hold a lot of these coins. I mean, I'm a fan of Shiba, but not my top 5. So XRP, XLM, XDC. I would have to go with VeChain, and because of how it changed my life, I'm going to stay with Polkadot. So that would be my top 5, I think, right now. There's some incredible projects out there, but I think when you look at, and this is one of the things I'll talk about, Edo, and I want you to touch on this. And again, me and you are not financial advisors. We can't tell people what to do, but I'm not going to bank my family's future off of a meme coin. I'm not going to bank my family's future and going into the next bull run. Oh, when we get legal clarity, Pepe is going to be the one. I'm not going to do that. I think that's ignorant, and I'm not calling people ignorant. If that's the way you want to live your life, God bless you. But for me, this is about getting wealthy, generations to come. So with that being in mind, the most smart, strategic way of becoming a multi-millionaire, in my opinion, regardless of where your money's at, because every coin that you named and I named is very affordable, other than maybe Polkadot, because it's at $4 right now. But people fail to realize that thing almost hit $60 in 2021. So for me, again, XRP, XLM, XDC, VeChain, because VeChain to me is so undervalued, my God. And then Polkadot. There's so many coins that could follow that right now, so many coins with that type of potential when you look at the fact that, even something like, I think is a fan favorite, Crow, Crypto.com, people like that coin. It hit 90-something cents, almost $1. It's at 5 cents now. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, but top 5, that's what I would be at, Edo. Go ahead with your thoughts on that.
I totally agree with you, especially regarding the meme coins. We just had someone saying the other day, and that's so accurate. When you hear about the meme coin, it usually means it's too late, and you see most of these meme coins, they have like a peak of performance, and then they will just drop, and it's very most likely it will never make an all-time high again. And if it goes back, it's just small pumps, and it's just pullbacks, and people end up being liquidity for these projects, and there's nothing in the real world that's going to drive adoption for these projects. So it's just like there's no hope for these projects. That's why I stay away from meme coins. I prefer to focus on real world utility. And the 5 projects that we mentioned, they all have a great purpose on the real world. And that's what I'm interested about. I'm interested in being an early investor to technologies, not only something that I have in my wallet, but perhaps to really be an early investor in a technology that's going to revolutionize the world. And that's what I focus about.
I want to mention one more thing, and I want your opinion on this. I don't know if you ever got into staking. If you look at, I had a friend, and I had a couple friends. Let me just say this, and I want to get your opinion on this. I had a couple friends, and I don't want to name their names, right? But it really hurts my heart to say this, and I got to say it. I have friends that lost their houses. I have friends that lost their jobs. I have friends that their relationships are in trouble because they jumped in and they put everything on certain staking platforms, certain staking tokens. I won't even name the tokens because I don't want to offend people. Nodes. They put a lot of money in these things. And even when these projects folded, they came back and says, oh, we're better now. This is when the market crashed in 2021. They came back and relaunched. And to me, what they've done is they've wiped people money out. They've wiped people's, I had a friend of mine, Edo, that in the beginning, he got himself up to like 20, 30, 40,000. And then when he lost it, he went out and took loans for another 20, 30,000. And another friend of mine had 2 rental houses and a mobile home. Now he lives in a mobile home. He lost everything. And the reason that I say that is that you got to understand how precious this moment is and the fact that we may not ever see this again, Edo. So I say that, and I want to hand it over to you. This is not the time to gamble your money away. And the reason that I said top 5, we have to make the best decision, because if there's meme coins that you like, I always tell people this: if you want to buy all this stuff, cars and everything else, go get wealthy first. Don't go try to buy all those things and put yourself in debt where you can't afford to live. Go get wealthy first. The reason that I said my top 5, I think it's the greatest opportunity for me to be wealthy. You said your top 5, that's the greatest opportunity for you to be wealthy. But going around throwing your money out and rolling dice on these projects is not worth it. I've had too many friends call me upset, a few crying, and many have asked for money, and it breaks my heart and it hurts my soul. So your comments on that?
Yeah, and just to remind that it goes beyond just cryptocurrencies. I mean, I think it all comes with balance.
Right.
I'm also a real estate investor. I'm not putting all of my eggs in crypto. I don't really know when crypto is going to take off. I think you have to be diversified. And James, in my opinion, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
That's right.
You notice there is a pattern. So the people that I have seen doing these things, because I do also have friends who lost money in crypto by doing things like investing in Pepe when it was in the top. And it was very funny, because I have friends that people that I know that they like gambling.
Right,
people.
Right.
So how you do one thing is how you do everything. Right. If you like to gamble too much money, of course, when you're going to do investments, you're going to have a tendency to gamble.
That's right.
Because that's how you do one thing is how you do everything. Right. So it was very interesting to watch that. When I first heard about Pepe coin, so I will not mention names here, but I have this friend who actually was every time changing some stupid meme coin or something like that. And he's also addicted to gambling. He lost a lot of money gambling.
Right.
When I first heard about Pepe coin, I was like, do you want to see that in a couple of days, this person is going to text me about this coin, asking my opinion? Bam. 2 days later, I got WhatsApp from him. Hey, Edu, what do you think about Pepe coin? I said, bro, Pepe coin is a meme coin. I heard about this 10 days ago. You heard 2 days ago.
That's right.
The chances that you're going to put your money there and it's going to go up, it's like, it's gambling. I mean, at this point,
that's right.
Grab a Cuban cigar and go to the casino and at least have some fun.
That's right. That's
so
right.
At least this time he heard my advice, but in the past he did so many mistakes by buying the tops. And it's just about chasing pumps and dumps. And these people, they have to first fix their mindset. That's because right. How they do one thing is how they do everything. If they are addicted to gambling, they will end up doing the same mistakes in crypto, and they're going to put at risk their life savings. So first, people have to fix their mental state so that they can be psychologically stable and they can afford to see the prices to go up and down, and to be in a good state of mind to take decisions. That's my take for it.
I want to ask you one more question, because I've heard your story so much, and it's a beautiful story. It's an inspiring story. But me knowing you and knowing that you're not a gambler, and knowing that you are a brilliant mind and you work at losses and you've done all these different things, so many people hear the story about you selling your car and they're thinking, oh, shoot, well, if Edo sold his car, maybe I should go sell my car. Kind of elaborate on that, the thought process, and the fact that it was very strategic. You weren't stupid. You didn't go out there and put it in a casino. You didn't go buy a lottery ticket. There was a reason you did that, because people hear that all the time. And even though it's inspiring, it was very strategic in what you did, right? So explain that just very quickly.
Yeah, every step was very calculated. First of all, because I was not using this car for go to work every day. That would be the gamble mindset.
So it was something extra, something you didn't need.
Yes, I have the car. Okay, I use this car. I use it to travel with this car. I was living in Portugal, so I traveled to Spain. I had done great things of the car, but for me it was a luxury. It's not something that I need to take my children to the school, for example, or something like that.
Right.
So that's number one. Second, I was getting extra expenses with the car, so I was very often getting fines because I cannot park near the house. They fine me. So I say, I'm gonna get a better use from this car, and I'm going to use this money in a more productive way. So I'm gonna cut off this luxury for me because I don't really need the car.
Don't need it, right?
And I'm gonna use this in a more strategic way. And even when I did the investments, because back on the time it was very risky to buy Dogecoin,
right,
or Bitcoin. Nobody knew about it.
Right.
So even there, my strategy was to put 80% on Bitcoin and 20% on the so-called meme coins, and it actually worked very well. So yeah, even by taking risks, you can take what I call calculated risks.
Right. And I think that's smart because, you know, a lot of us have stuff that we don't use. You might go in the garage and see a TV you don't use, or, you know, maybe you have a $1,000 riding lawnmower where you could probably push around $100 lawnmower. So it's just really evaluating things maybe you don't need that you're not using, that's sitting there collecting dust. And that's what I always tell people, like, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm not telling people, and by no means am I promoting sell your car or anything, but if you got something sitting around that you're not using, like jet skis that are sitting there getting mold, and they're sitting there and no one's maybe you're using them once every 2 or 3 years. I've done that. Or a boat that, you know, maybe it's costing you more money to keep the engine repaired, you know, stuff like that. That's what you're talking about. Something that wasn't very that even though you used it, it wasn't a necessity. It was bringing you sometimes more headaches than good. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that. With that being said, guys, let me send some love to everyone. Shane Sullivan wanted me to ask you, have you ever heard of Caspa?
Casper. Yes, I heard about Casper. If I'm not mistaken, Casper is also one of the ISO 20022 tokens. And yes, I'm also bullish on Casper, but you know, James, it's hard to keep track of every project.
Yeah.
There are so many projects out there. I could name here 50 coins that I believe are going to be extremely useful. And that's funny because even though, yes, a lot of cryptocurrencies are going to disappear, still there's a lot of currencies that are going to be here. So yes, Casper is indeed a great project as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not invested in Casper because I also don't want to be over diversified. I like to keep on track of everything that's going on. So I just hold, let's say, 10 to 15 coins.
See, that's smart.
And
yeah.
Although Casper is a great project, and you know, I am in crypto every day, and it's already difficult to keep track of 15 coins. So imagine the person who are not doing this as a full-time job as I do.
Right, and you brought up a final thought. When I first got into crypto, because I had started earning money, right, we started doing very well on money. And you know, I know we talk about, oh gosh, I don't want to go there, but there was a time we lived in Vegas, and at the top, let's put it this way, at the top of 2021, things had got so good that the taxes that we did from that, I think we had spent right around, my wife is in here watching now, but our taxes was about $2 million of what we blew partying and having fun in casinos and just all that stuff, because we made. So imagine if that's a small part of what we made, right? So now I don't do that now, but I'm just trying, and I'm not trying to press anyone, but trying to press upon you. That's the kind of bull market that we had, right? And my wife is sitting here now. She knows because she did the taxes. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Is I say that to say this, guys. There's so many projects, even at that time, when I started getting that kind of money, I was buying this and buying that, and I found myself with hundreds of coins, hundreds of different projects, right? Some of these coins I had millions, billions, trillions, whatever, and hundreds of thousands, 10,000. And then it got to the point, Edo, as the market started going down, I realized some of these projects are not here anymore. So, and that's even when I have my 70-20-10, I noticed that a lot of the 10%ers are gone. Some of these coins, Edo, I can't even pull them off the exchanges, brother. They have no value, or the exchanges have forbidden me to take. They said we no longer support this coin. I'm like, wait a minute, where's my coin at? So I've lived that. So what I started doing is I started consolidating and restructuring my wallet, right? So I started restructuring my wallet to the point where now, like you said, I have, and I know this is hard to hear, especially when I said I have hundreds and hundreds of coins. I'm down to about 20 coins now. I mean, and here's, no, it's funny because I had to restructure everything, Edo, because here's what I did. I start looking at all these coins, like people are saying this, and let's say you've got Pepe and Daddy's Dogecoin and all, you know, I'm just being silly, but all these coins, you have to ask yourself, what does each one of those coins have to hit for it to have a financial impact on your life? And do I want to take the chance of a coin that has 5 or 6 zeros? Or do I look at something like, let's say, and I'm just going to use it as an example, not to be a maxi, XRP, that was created to be a $10,000 coin that's been victorious. They're relevant. Everybody in the world knows about it. It's being talked about by governments, financial institutions. It's all over the world. And the fact that it's only 50 cents right now. So that's what I did. I reallocated my entire portfolio over this last year, where I went from hundreds to dozens to 20 coins. And I'm always reassessing that position, because my whole thought process and what I told my wife is this is about getting wealthy, not about being a fan of different projects. There's a lot of great projects, right? Just like you, there's a lot of them that I think have potential. But what's the greatest opportunity for us to change our children's and our children's future? And so I love what you said, reallocate, restructure, don't fall in love with projects, but put yourself in the best position to win. Would you agree with that?
Amazing. I totally agree with you, James. And I have to say that we are here for generational wealth, not some quick gain. So that's why we hold XRP. That's why XRP is my main bag as well.
Yeah, I had coins that I had so long that I felt obligated to have them. I had coins so long that I was like, okay, well, I'm obligated. I've had it this long. I've got to stick with SafeMoon. And it's like, but that's, and you start going, wait a minute, it's a piece of, like you start realizing this is not a smart strategy. So, guys, with that being said, I appreciate you, Edo, Farina, appreciate you. I see a few people that came in late here. CKaz, what's up, my brother? Tony Bags, all you guys that are here, much love. I think I named everybody off. Anything else you want to say before we shut this off, Edo? We're just over an hour right now.
I think just my final thoughts here is that everyone should not trust a word of what we say, but they should always do their own research. And, there's plenty of evidences, documents, official statements from governments, banks, financial institutions, everything. So go do your homework, do your own research, and let's hope that bull run is going to be life-changing for everyone.
That's right. Well said, my brother. And really quickly, if you can let them know what's getting ready to happen in about 30 minutes with the X Space. And at 2:30 we have an X Space. Can you let them know what they can expect? What they can expect?
We're gonna do a quick briefing, I think, about the macro situation. About we can analyze more deep this war and the consequences for crypto, for example, and what we expect to happen in the next 90 days. Let's say in the short term.
Okay, guys. So make sure you guys go over to Edo's page. I'll also retweet it. It's the Standard with Edo, Farina, and 6-8Jay. It'll be up in about 34 minutes. So we'll see you guys all there. Edo, thank you so much, my brother, to the Crypto for Life family. And
thank you.
Say hello to your girlfriend, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, buddy. All right, bye-bye. Guys, I appreciate you guys being out here. Make sure you guys check out the Standard, which is the new name that we have. We're going to be actually having a show, a live show, just like we're having right now. It's going to be on StreamYard. Edo's now. We're utilizing that name for our X Spaces on certain days as well. So I appreciate each and one of you guys. XRP is a solid choice. That's right. There's a lot of solid choices. You just got to figure out what's best for you. Like I told you guys before, I had to reconsolidate everything. There's some coins, man, that I don't even want to say that I had that I don't have anymore because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But this is not about being part of a tribe. This is not. I didn't start the show so we can go, Viva la Shiba, Viva la Doge, Viva la this. No, it's about what's the best chances for me and my family to win in this next bull run. And when you do that, you have to assess which coins have the best, solve the best problems that will be needed the most, the best utility, the best partnerships, and the most likely to win. So with that being said, guys, Tony Bags, Big Bro 10, Shane Sullivan, CKaz, thank you so much, my guys. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Shouts out to Edo, Farina, Nest Force. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's see who else we have here. JC, my man, Pots and Pans. Always one away. Always one away. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Appreciate you, Jenny. Panal, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Marvin Davis, my man, Pots and Pans. Guys, there would not be a show. Brad, what's up, my man? It would not be a show, Crypto OG and Tony Bags, if I didn't play you guys a little Tails. Tails, let's take us out. Woo!
Hey, look, 4 years and it's still no cheers. If you're selling and I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is in illusion? How high will it go when the XRP get the moon in? It's amusing when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, got them choosing. Which one? Bag it up. This one? Stack it up. Does it like it is.
All right, guys, that's your Crypto Tales theme. We'll appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's your boy James, a.k.a. 6-8Jay. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace.